Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. Today we're going to be looking at another bow. This is a normal difficulty bow as well. It is the Rogue's Bow Composite Bow. The Rogue's Bow Composite Bow is an interesting one because it has two very nice effects on it, and we'll go over those as we talk about it. So first off, it is a composite bow, and it only has 6 to 12 physical damage on it, which isn't too high, but it is only a level 20 bow, which means you're probably going to be using this around Act 3 difficulty, so not too bad. 35 dex and 25 strength is actually extremely low, and does mean that this bow tends to be relatively easy to equip. We also have this in a very fast base. This is a -10 base, so composite bows are -10 already. And then combined with the plus 50% increased attack speed means that this bow is actually surprisingly fast. And I think that's really one of the biggest benefits of this bow is how quick it fires. We also have a 60% enhanced damage, which does vary from 40 to 60%, and it's not too terrible. Like I've seen some of them go as low as like 30% or not even have any enhanced damage. So 60% isn't like really awful for a level 20 bow, but it is going to fall off pretty quickly as we upgrade it. So keep that in mind. We also have a very nice 60 bonus to attack rating, which is a lot higher than some of the other bows have. And we also have a 100% off-weapon enhanced damage for undead, which means that we're going to hit undead a little bit harder than we would normal targets. But keep in mind that 100% off-weapon ED for undead applies differently than the 60% on the weapon. It does not apply directly to the damage. Instead, it applies kind of like a might aura. And I think that's the best way to think about it. Think about the 100% bonus damage to undead as a might aura when you're attacking undead. It's not going to give you as much as you think. We also have a 30% deadly strike, which is actually pretty amazing, which means that the bow has a chance to deal double damage 30% of the time. And this will actually stack with the Amazon's native critical strike. So if you are using this on an Amazon and you have your critical strike up, it will stack, but not directly. So like say you had 30% crit and 30% on the bow. It doesn't stack to 60. It actually stacks differently. So 30% rolls first, and then the 30% deadly strike rolls second. So you have two 30% chances to get the roll. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head for 30%, but I do remember 50%. So if you had a 50% deadly strike and a 50% critical strike, and they both rolled, that's a 75% chance of success, which gives you a much better understanding of kind of how the two stack together. So we also have all resistances 10 on this bow, which is not bad for normal difficulty, but would definitely fall off pretty quickly in Nightmare because you need a hell of a lot more than 10 resistances. Now this bow can be upgraded, and I feel like if we upgrade this, it's going to be a lot better than it is now, specifically because the physical damage is very lacking, and upgrading it one tier to the exceptional version will definitely increase the physical damage a decent amount to make it into a better bow. So let's take a look and see what kind of effect we get when we upgrade this to its exceptional version. So to upgrade this, you're going to need a Ral, a Soul, and a Perfect Emerald. And it's going to go from 6 to 12 damage, 35 dex, 25 strength, level 20. To the Rogue's Double Bow, 17 to 41, 73 dex, 58 strength, level 30. Not a bad upgrade at all, actually. Physical damage went up nicely. The level requirement only went up 10 to level 30. And could definitely come in handy as you progress through Act 4 and Act 5 in normal difficulty. And once you've completed Act 5 and you're moving into Nightmare, it might fall off, and you might have to end up upgrading this eventually, but it's interesting. This also could be interesting on a Shapeshifter Druid because it does have 50% increased attack speed along with the 30% deadly strike. It could actually work out pretty nice on like a Shapeshifter Wolf or a Bear, so that you could attack very quickly. You could even socket it, put an additional Shale Rune in there, and you could potentially get, what, 50, 60, 70% increased attack speed on this bow. just so you could attack as fast as humanly possible. Might be an interesting choice for a low-level Fire Claw Druid, now that I think about it. A low-level Fire Claw Druid could get some pretty good use out of a 70% increased attack speed level 30 bow, with decent physical damage and 30% deadly strike. And of course, the all resistances 10 wouldn't exactly be a terrible thing. We could upgrade this a second time, but I really don't feel like it's going to be a good upgrade the second time. But let's do it anyway, because why not? So to do this second upgrade, you're going to need a Lum Rune, a Pole Rune, and you're going to need a Perfect Emerald, and that's going to bring this to the Elite tier. So we're going to go from 17 to 41 damage, 73 dex, 58 strength, level 30, to the Great Bow, which is 19 to 83 damage, 107 dexterity, 121 strength, level 63. So as you can see, a really poor upgrade to the third tier. This bow definitely belongs at tier 1, and it does okay at tier 2, but I do feel like there might be some better bows that you could be using at tier 2. Amazon herself doesn't really have issues with critical strike. Usually Amazons build critical strike on their characters, so the deadly strike doesn't really offer a huge advantage to an Amazon, but I do feel like this could be an interesting choice for a non-Amazon. Like if you were a character who just wanted a really fast attacking bow with deadly strike, like for instance a Shapeshifter Druid, it could be an interesting choice for them, more so than the Amazon itself. And I mean, it's interesting. Let's take a look real quick and see where we could potentially find the Rogue's Bow if we wanted to get our hands on it. We're going to go over to Silo's Pen real quick. And over on Silo's Pen, we're going to pretend we have about 75% Magic Find, because this is an odd level 20 bow. And we're only going to look at normal difficulty, because that's where we want to find it. That's where we want to use it. Let's take a look at bosses first. And it looks like, to me, not a lot of super good choices there. I mean, Iswal has a good chance to drop it. Diablo has a really good chance to drop it at 1 in 281. I mean, level 20, which is when you'd find this bow. Diablo is not a bad choice. Usually you're around level 20, 25 by the time you fight Diablo. And as for super uniques, we've got a lot of interesting choices here. Witch Doctor and Dugu, which is not really farmable, but you will kill him on the way through Act 3. Grand Visor of Chaos, Infector of Souls, and Lord Decease. Obviously, you'll kill those when you're killing Diablo. And it does look like Shank, Eldritch, Doc Farron, Pindleskin, Thresh Socket, Hephaesto the Armor, all of those are interesting choices. In fact, you could just run that combo and try and get yourself something nice. Hephaesto the Armor, Thresh Socket, Pindle, Doc Farron, Eldritch, and Shank. That's like that's a rotation there. If you guys have never done that rotation, it's really simple. You walk outside of Act 5, and you basically teleport down until you find Doc Farron. Or you run down until you find Doc Farron. And then after you find Doc Farron, you walk all the way up and you kill Shank at the top of the hill. And then after you kill Shank, you walk up a little bit further and you kill Eldritch. And then after you kill Eldritch, you go to the end and you kill Thresh Socket. And it's not even really that hard of a run. And then you go to the River of Flame and you kill Hephaesto, and then you come back to town and kill Pindleskin, and you do that over and over again. Rinse, repeat. It's a nice little super unique combo, and it's great for finding items, especially as low-level characters. You just run that combo, and usually you'll get something. Maybe not exactly what you want, but you'll get something. Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, even when we're talking about a weird one like the Rogue's Bow. And as always, keep watching.